Hello and welcome to The Regulars. And it's just me, Stacey.
Oh, yeah, killing it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Regulars podcast. It is me, Stacey, solo. As always, in my mind, I love the gift of gab. But it is just me today. Jason is still very much in the midst of moving. So there was miscommunicado in that he was like, I can't do today. And I said, great. Okay, you will be missed. And then I just proceeded on my own merry way. As you can see, my boobs and my bra today, very sassy. I just proceeded to be like, okay, I guess I'll just do it solo today. And so here we are. Miss Frizzle shirt in tow, bra showing. Thank you, Skims. So I'm here. And there's so much that I'm excited to discuss with everyone. Thank you so much for this love for the shirt. Kaitlin is saying she loves the bug shirt. Thank you, Kelsey and Jenny. Megan, we are a solo pod, baby. Rest assured, anyone who is new, I don't think we'll run out of things to say. Thank you again. The shirt love is just coming in and I'm really enjoying it. So, friends, there's so much I want to break down. First of all, a lot of news happened, but before we get into the Kaitlin Bristowe and the Jlo and Ben of it all, which of course, Crystal, we shall be talking about that, because that is absolutely wild to me. It is wild that they vacationed together. Do we want this reunion? We don't know. But before we get into that, I guess I should just set the vibe. The vibe for today is for the people that find themselves with a period. When you're not on your period yet, and then you're just feeling like the grossest person that's ever lived in the world, and then you check your phone and it's like, oh yeah, period. Should have happened by now. And you're like, oh, you forget that you get your period. That's where I'm sort of at. Sweaty, bloated, confused, that sort of energy. And then the other bit of energy that will maybe sprinkle my opinion on these topics we shall cover is I played a video game, a virtual reality game where you rock climb, which I know what you're thinking. That doesn't make any sense. And then I fully pulled my shoulder and back. Aging is a wild onion that I am peeling, and it is interesting. So yes, we've got a little pulled shoulder, a little hot water bottle cooking right for after the pod, and just a period upon me that when you're this period's gonna really do it in. This period's a pint of ice cream, a couple of pizzas to survive. I can feel it. It's on the midst. But yeah, that's where I'm at. But in amazing fun news, and this is how we know summer is coming, Pink Bikini is back. Pink Bikini has popped her beautiful head out this morning as I was making my coffee, which is currently in a mug that says Christmas calories don't count. Pink Bikini graced me with her presence and I shit you absolutely not, bright pink towel. So I think with Pink Bikini coming out with the pink towel, that spring and summer are but around the corner. So that is very, very exciting to me. So we do have some periods in the midst in the chat. Jen saying, I cried yesterday because I imagined my cat dying, and then I went to a shelter to get another cat, and the shelter cat was abandoned. This was all in my imagination. Then I saw my period is next week. I see this and I hear this. Okay, so before we start, I just want to also bring up this little situation. So Jason was like, I can't do the show, which I took it on as I'll just do the show. And he took it on as maybe we'll take Wednesday off. So as I was setting up today, Jason has, as we all know, the most serious FOMO, the idea of missing out on something, even though he literally cannot because he's moving. but he showed up in the thing, and I was like, "Hey, I'm going live," and then just sent me a
I haven't left
message.
yet.
Oh, he's just get out of here, Jason. So he sent a private message that said, "Oh, sorry, the electrician is here. Sorry for the confusion on my part." So the FOMO is rich and dark, and we love him for that. And I am going to keep him out of the chat because he needs to learn to go, and that things will be fine if he's not a part of that.
Bye, everybody.
Bye. Just leave. Just and log out, Jay. Don't even give yourself the option to pop back in. We're okay, and we're okay. Yeah. Stephanie says, I bought a pink bikini this summer. I will be thinking of this pod every time I wear it. And thank you. And thank you. And Kelsey, you're correct. It is such Jason energy. He literally cannot miss out. It is a big thing for him. And I think the fact that I was, the fact that I was carrying on, I think he will be missed. Jay, I'm sure you're watching this. You'll be fine. You're okay. Just go do your move. The pod will be here when you get back. Okay, so let's get into literally the heartbreak hotel of pop culture, because literally everyone's getting divorced. Finally, a topic I can really dip a toe into. Megan says that she missed Monday for a dumb work meeting and was grumpy the entire time. I get it. Right now, you're like, this is the Jason energy. He's frustrated. He's unpacking boxes and he's frustrated. Jenny goes, I FOMO this pod too. It always throws off my work day. And I know I need to just skip it so I can work harder, but I just love it. That is really funny that we are really making you not as successful as you hoped and dreamed. And I think we're killing it. But that is actually a question I would like to ask too. Like, now that people are people are getting vaccinated, it's, we're getting sort of on the other side, it feels like, of COVID-19. Like, how are people feeling in the chat? And if you're listening to this audio, tell us, like, how are you feeling? Do you feel like you're getting back to normal? Do you feel like the things you did in pandemic are going to have to shift and change soon? Like, where's everyone feeling? Because that's the thing, right? It's like, especially for like this podcast, like we started it because, we were all in lockdown, but now it's like people are getting back to work. People are like getting outside and seeing people. So I'm just curious how everyone's feeling about that. Do we feel like we're getting back to normal? I know we're still in lockdown, but like, is it starting to feel that way? That's what I want to know. Well, Shayla's saying it's still a dumpster fire in Alberta, and Kayla is saying very much the same in Nova Scotia. Yeah, Megan is also back in Alberta, so it's all been the same since March. Yeah, it feels very much that. So Haley says been back to normal-ish since May. So yeah, I get it. It's super discouraging. I know I certainly feel that way. It's like, what is the new normal? Like, what are we doing? What am I doing? Like, how do you proceed? Like, will there ever be a day where I have to lie about why I'm late for dinner? I want to, what will that be like? Interesting. Haley says, I work in the industry, but also in Texas. Yeah. So Texas was kind of like COVID who, but yeah, exactly. Shayla, I just want someone to serve me lovely cocktails. That's all I want. I just want to wear like a shiny boot, a jean, and I want to drink cocktails and eat snacks. And I'm just at that point. And I don't know if anyone else is feeling this. I've just I'm just like eating whatever, doing whatever, sleeping for however I want. Like at this point, I'm like, I did the whole like, woo, I'm on vacation of life in the first pandemic, like the first couple of weeks where I was like, oh, no work, no nothing. And then sort of developed a schedule. And then I was like, I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to like get myself on a regime. And now I'm just like, this is never ending. And who cares? We're having noodles every night. That's what's going on. Kayla says, I want clear goals. I'm frustrated with the lack of exit strategy from the government. I know they can't give dates, but it would be nice to see a percentage of vaccinations. Agreed. Communication is key. Yeah. I want the reprieve of getting out there. So that's why I really appreciate I really appreciate this opportunity to talk about really like dumb things, like how big Kaitlin Bristowe's engagement ring is, the John Mulaney divorce, Jlo and Ben Affleck back together. I mean, this is maybe our opportunity to just really get into the cesspool of everything. So first I want to talk about Kaitlin Bristowe, and I meant to pull the photos, but you know what? We'll just go on my favorite news source. If you listen to the Regular Girls podcast, you know where I'm going. We're going to people.com. Truly, this engagement, Shayla says, Stacey, is that your erotic paint by numbers in the background? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. This was what I like to call season 1 of the pandemic. So this is how much I got into my erotic paint by numbers. This is a beautiful vagina ornament by the incredible Chantal Renee, who makes them. My little lumberjack from Jan Caruana, and my sign that says, welcome, does it smell? Please tell me. And no one's in here, so no one can tell me. The ornamuffs. Ornamuffs are beautiful. I have 2 of them. One hangs in my bathroom and one hangs here, but she's a little lopsided today. And if you're listening to this podcast, it's just a vagina felted ornament that's gorgeous and wonderful and created by a beautiful, talented, amazing woman. Okay, so let's get into the first shenanigan that we have to discuss, and that is Kaitlin Bristowe getting engaged to Jason Tartick, which I never remember his last name. Now, I am just going to save this picture because it has to be saved. Her ring is so big. Her ring is so big. I hate to be one of those people that's like, the ring, but also the ring. Have people seen the ring? How are people feeling about it? I am so that girl who, like, when people get engaged, I'm like, I need to see the ring. I need to see the ring. I want to see the ring. Do people care? Is this a thing? Jenny says she would be afraid to go out with that ring. And to that I say, not me. I'd happily take it. And I'll just put that into the universe and manifest that as my goals here. Let me get these ring photos up. But the ring is just like absolutely wild. It is nuts so. Now, where did I save them? This is but the question, isn't it? This is but the question. Where is this? Oh, okay, great. The ring is so big. It's unbelievable. How do we feel about the engagement, though? That's what I want to know. Like, how do we feel about it? Do we care about it? I'm happy. I love Kaitlin Bristowe. Truly, to me, was the best bachelorette in the franchise history thus far. I love her. Here we go. So this is the ring. I mean, Stephanie's saying too big. Jenny goes, I can't imagine wearing or wanting a ring that big, but I'm sure if I saw it on my finger, I'd be like, actually, this is okay. And yes. Look how big that ring is. I'm sorry. I guess this is like, you can't, like, if you can zoom in, like, look at the depths of that ring. You know, this isn't like a flat stone. This is the planet Earth. There's depth to that. There's width and depth. And to that I say, ooey, ooey. It is so big. And I'm wondering, for those who are married, those who have been engaged, those who are just think about the engagement ring, do we want a big ring? Like, where are people at? Is that a superficial question? I don't know. So yes, to answer Jenny's question, not a question, more of a statement. She says, I think he proposed on her podcast, which he did, which is actually where they met for the first time and where they first felt sparks, which is cute. Yeah, so he proposed and there's like a video of it. She's super shocked. Do you guys remember that video? There was a video of Kaitlin Bristowe. It was when they were going through like the history of The Bachelor and they were featuring her season. And Chris Harrison is like prepared to ask her a really big question. And she thinks she's about to get engaged, but then she just gets asked to be on Dancing with the Stars. But you can tell that like she was expecting an engagement. Hilarious. I died because it was like she was like, I'm still excited, but I really thought I was going to get engaged. But anyways, they're engaged now. She's back to brunette. I miss her a bit as a blonde. I will admit. Shayla says, I loved mine. And you lost, Shayla, please explain. You lost yours, right? That's so sad. Claire says, my engagement ring and wedding band are made to be added to, so you get added bands for anniversaries. Love. Melissa says, I don't want a ring at all. I don't wear jewelry and rings really bug me. But like Jenny, if I saw one on my finger, I'd probably be like, okay. Oh no, Shayla did lose her wedding ring. I'm so sorry. That friggin' stinks. Well, now for an anniversary, now your husband doesn't need to like think of something. You know, he can just give you something, which is nice. I really do love this ring. I love like a vintage ring. One of Demi Moore's daughters just got engaged and her ring is like, ugh. And then I feel like so archaic that I love looking at engagement rings. I'm like, I guess I should be like not so into it, but yeah. Megan says, I'm super into vintage rings. Am I single? Of course. But I feel like even like being single, like, you know, will I find myself on a Pinterest site looking at rings? Of course. Tasha lost her wedding ring too, but inherited her grandma, so it all worked out. That's beautiful. Love a vintage ring, says Shayla, and I hope you said that loud enough for your partner to hear. Just saying that. So Kaitlin is engaged with this mammoth of a ring, so big, and good for them. I don't have a concept of Jason Tardik. Like, who is he from? What season? Like, he feels like a fever dream to me, and that I'm like, where did he come from? But Crystal says, I'm single and I love to look at wedding dresses. Who doesn't? I mean, they're so pretty. The prettiest. Next in the news is John Mulaney and his wife got divorced. And that's sad. So sad. He obviously ended it because his wife or ex-wife responded like, I'm very sad that John wanted to end the relationship. And I thought, okay, bold move. Love it. So she came out and was like, he ended things. And I thought, okay. And I'm just trying to find, I believe it's Anne-Marie Tendler, I believe. I'm just looking this up. Because, yeah. Let's see. Could I have been prepared? Of course. Of course I could have been prepared. But why? Why? When this excitement can be happening. But, yeah, so they broke up. Let me just Google this while we're chatting. Okay, hold on. I have to stop here. And again, like, this is a mixed bag. People, welcome. Jen says my original engagement ring was, I misread that. I thought you had said your original engagement ring was $10,000 and I died. And I was like, it turned your like finger green? No, $10 from Ardene's. Beautiful. I remember this woman I did this short film with, and she was the wardrobe stylist, and she had this like incredibly ornate vintage gorgeous ring, and I thought it was just like this massive diamond, and it was an aquamarine stone, and I was obsessed. And she was like, oh yeah, this isn't a diamond, and it was truly so gorgeous. It was like gold ornate, so pretty. I was obsessed with it. I think I asked about it way too long. I wasn't reading the room. Anne-Marie Tendler is her name. So John Mulaney and his wife, Anne-Marie Tendler, have split after 6 years of marriage. She is an incredible, if you want some tips, an incredible Instagram follow. She's so artistic. She makes lamps. She takes incredible, beautiful photos. Very much worth a follow. And as she says, I am heartbroken that John has decided to end our marriage. I wish him support and success as he continues his recovery. So he did go back into recovery. He relapsed, and he says, Oh, his reps say John will not have any further comment as he continues to focus on his recovery and getting back to work. Sad. Such a sad ending. Wait, I'm now catching up on the chat because I was like, I don't think she's a billionaire. Yeah, so it was so sad. And I just thought, like, ooh, like, what a statement from her. Like, I didn't end it. Ooey, ooey. But I loved them together, and I'm so sad. She just seemed so cool, you know? But everyone's talking about Pete Davidson. Is he in the news for something that I do not know? I know that he was, like, removing his tattoos. Why do I know that? Give me a map. Couldn't find many things. But do I know that Pete Davidson is removing his tattoos to further his film career? Of course I do. Is that a problem? Without question. Without. Who gets Petunia is the question, Claire. I bet you, I think his wife. She's still taking pictures with her. That's always tricky. You know? Yeah. So that's another, like, they don't really say why. It's sad. But, you know, now, like, John Mulaney's back on the market, and he is but an attractive man, and she is gorgeous and has amazing style and is very, like, talented. So where will they land is truly the question. Kaitlin says, Petunia is actually the name of my Chihuahua's imaginary mom. Isn't it funny, like, in pandemic, like, how far you go with storylines? Like, the way that I deal with my dogs now is, like, there is no, like, sit, stay. It's very much like, how dare you? Can I get a second? Can you come here for a quick chat? That's now how I talk to them when I need the dogs to, like, come to me. Or if they won't sit or they won't behave, I'm just often like, in what world? In what world? And then they'll sit. Things are getting weird when you live alone during quarantine. If you are in the chat and you do live alone, I would love to know, like, the weirdest new thing that you do. Like, you live alone. What is, like, the new, like, routine you've taken on, or the new thing you've introduced in your life where you're like, this is peak quarantine? I'd like to know. Claire says, John and Pete got super close in the past 2 years, and I feel like since Pete does a lot of drugs, he has a bad influence. Oh, but I think John and Pete Davidson are now both sober. I believe they both are now sobs. And I believe, I could be wrong about this, and I'd be curious if anyone knows here. I think John brought Pete Davidson on to his tour. And they were both in their sobriety, but I could be wrong. I like Pete Davidson. I mean, do I think he can do good impressions? Absolutely not. Do I find him attractive? No, but do I want to take care of him and make sure he's got a hot tea on a cold day? Of course I do. That's where I stand with Pete Davidson. I just find him so likable, you know? But, like, watching him come on to SNL to attempt at a Steve Buscemi, like, impression, absolutely not. I don't want to see that. Shayla says that my husband and I play dog bingo, meaning we say bingo when we see a dog, but our dogs have learned what bingo means and they lose their shit now when we say it. That's adorable. Kaitlin, peak self-quarantining, ordered 3 large bags of donuts from 7-Eleven. That's beautiful. Have I Uber Eats a McFlurry? Not once, not twice, not thrice. Thrice? 4 times plus? Of course. And, like, the delivery charge, it's embarrassing. And it shows me that I do not have respect for money or hard work and saving money. Because I will. Peak quarantine, or, like, cookie dough ice cream or a single bag of chips. But sometimes we just need what we need when we need it, you know? Yeah. Stephanie goes, I can't think of anything weird that I do now that I didn't do before. And that's incredible. Just keep it weird all the time. It is funny, though, because it's like, now I always struggled with, like, being alone, being home alone, living by myself. I never really had the experience. And now, like, I very much love my place. I very much love, like, a night at home, like, just like watching whatever, doing whatever, having whatever for dinner. Like I don't have to consider. And I guess that sounds selfish, but I would really tell anyone, like, if you can, to have the experience of living alone. I always had friends who told me to do it, and I was like, no, I don't want to. I don't like that idea. I'm a social person. But I have like learned so much. I've learned to be okay in the quiet, like when I'm alone and like the TV isn't on and maybe I'm just like working on my laptop, like, and there's quiet. I feel like I'm finally okay with that. I really do. Like, if you can do it, it's nice. Everyone listening to this is like, okay, stop yelling. Sorry. Jenny says, I fully gave up on caring what I look like. I grocery shop in fur-covered clothing, stained shirts, greasy, messy hair. Like, it's next level from what it used to be. I agree. I'm the same way now. I am the same. Like, now I'll see a sweater covered in dog hair, and I'm like, and who cares? And who cares? Who's going to come at me? But I will say, like, do I miss, like, putting on a blouse, showing a bit of bra with it? Of course, too. I like miss dressing up, but like like after this podcast, will this blouse stay on? Maybe for a little bit until I want to eat a sandwich in comfort. Then it's got to go. Crystal says, I can't wait to live alone. I feel like I need a break from my family. I feel like that. I feel like people who probably live with their partners or families, roommates, you must just be like, I mean, how are you doing it? I mean, do you get alone time? How do you create alone time? Because I feel like it is a must. A must. I also, Jenny has just said in the chat, mask and big sunglasses are the ultimate disguise. That is how I walk my dogs with like who am I with big glasses and a mask? The most. You know, I guess my peak, like if I were to think about it, like I bought these incredible period underwear from Amazon, which I know are like, it's not the best place to go, but I needed them and I needed them now. And so I got these like packs of period underwear and they're super cheap and they are incredible. But now at night, even when I'm not on my period, they're just like so high and so comfy that like I just love an underwear that's going right under my boobs and like a huge sweater. Oh my God, glass of wine and a snack with huge period underwear on. Someone come at me about it. You can't. It's too good. It's too good. I highly recommend. Huge ass underwear. Could I ever go back to a thong? No. Couldn't imagine. Big underwear for life. Amanda says, I have to have my virtual therapy in my car for privacy, but I honestly don't hate it. You got to find it where you can find it. No judgment, you know? Kayla says, we are comfortable doing our own thing here and there. Luckily, we have space, so we aren't always having to be together 24/7. I'm sure if we lived in a really small space, it could be different, but we have our own shows and hobbies we do around the house. That's so important to have. Tasha, I have those too. They are great. Period underwear she's talking about. Honestly, I wish I could find swimsuit bottoms just like that. Yeah, Claire, I will share the link. I'll put it on our Instagram, on the Regulars podcast Instagram. Also, I believe I'll have to hunt it down because in one of these videos, I shared the link to the underwear. They're incredible. Such high waist cotton. And man, do they work. Man, do they work. They're great. But yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting with so much time together and like, how do you find your own time, you know? And like I said before, like I never really found my own time. Now I feel like I would adamantly carve that out, which is like, you know, very, like I don't have kids, like I can't imagine, because I so desperately crave my own time alone now. Jenny says, guys, get yourself a pack of Fruit of the Loom briefs. I'm into that too. I saw a girl on TikTok or a woman, and she was talking about, it was really funny to me because she was talking about hacking Skims. So that's Kim Kardashian's shapewear line. And I have to say her bras are amazing. I am wearing one right now. I have one in nude and black. It's the mesh underwire bras. They're incredible. If you can swing it, I got it on a Black Friday deal. So it was like half off for 2. They're so good. But she was hacking Skims, where she just went to like Fruit of the Loom and got like guy boxer shorts and like a little bralette. I was like, underwear? Just like loose underwear? Good hack. But it looks so comfortable and now I want them. Yeah. Jenny goes, okay, but they're my normal underwear. So now I'm starting to think I'm doing underwear wrong. No. I'm saying that I was wasting my time with like bad underwear. And I don't feel like we talk about bad underwear enough. Do not have underwear anxiety, says Jenny. I just feel like people do not talk about underwear enough. Like shitty, like I would say now taking a look at my pandemic wardrobe, my underwear drawer is laughable. Like the underwear has never fit correctly. Why am I wearing high-waisted pants and mid-rise underwear? It makes absolutely no sense. Literally my vagina eats all of my underwear up, and I will openly talk about that forever and always. And like, where do you go for good underwear? And also, like, am I the only one when they would come back from work or like they would be out doing a show or doing something and come home and I would take them off because I'm like, who am I to be wearing a thong at my house? This is terrible. I hate this. I'm just saying you're doing it right, Jenny. We're all just catching up to you. Shayla says, I came across a woman on TikTok with a thong asking if she was supposed to wear two, one for each lip. Exactly. Like, who is buying like Victoria's Secret underwear and their vagina is like not starving for lunch? Like, that's what I want to know. And we don't talk about bad underwear enough, I don't think. Am I losing people logging off from this conversation because it's too much? Maybe. But I will talk about it forever. Bad underwear. We need to cure it. Crystal says, oh my God, I need to throw away all my underwear. I'm ashamed to say they're all so old. Mine are so old. My underwear is so old. Like, I have ones, like I have from a brand called Licenza, which is basically like when teens get like their first job and have money to like buy like sexy little underwear, like when you're like 16 and you're like, lace, like I need a woman's line, like an adult, I want to wear like underwear that has the vibe of a blazer, like it's covering the bottom, it's covering the back. Where do we get those? Where? Claire goes, the number of UTIs from wearing a thong at the gym. Who did I think I was? First of all, Claire, a thong at the gym. I'll tell you this, and this might be TMI, but I tell everyone and I really don't care. I have just stopped wearing underwear when I work out. I just wear my workout pants. And that might be bad, but I saw a few like fitness women that I follow on YouTube and they swear by doing that. And I started doing that and I was like, I am way more comfortable. And it's just way better. Like the fact that we would even have to consider a thong while being on an elliptical, I cannot let that land. Why did we do that to ourselves? Why? So I highly, highly recommend. Kaitlin goes, I have the same problem. I still have underwear from college. I graduated in 2014. Why are we underwear hoarders? Like, what is it? And like, we all have that trash bag pair of underwear or multiple. If you're myself, I will throw myself in the fire first. Why do we still have that trash bag underwear? For our periods? Okay. Sure. Like I have the grossest underwear, like stuff that's like, I even have to hide it in my underwear drawer for fear that my socks may see it, terrible. Yeah. Claire, I'm telling you, great idea. Ditch the underwear, just wear the athletic pant. And may I suggest an Old Navy workout pant, super cheap, very good, super great. I've had the same pair of workout, I have like 3 workout pants that have lasted for years. They're incredible. Jenny goes, when I was doing really long bike rides, I never wore undies. Not worth it. Never worth it. Never worth it. No. Crystal says, I have old underwear because I'm single. I'm like, no one is going to see this anyways. I mean, I know that we always say that, but like, and again, have we ever been in a situation where it's like, a sexy little situation where someone was like, cool underwear, Never. Like maybe once, twice, or thrice. But like, even when that happened, I was like, these aren't even top shelf. These aren't even the top shelf ones. So I say throw them out. I say we all deserve new underwear. We all deserve new underwear. You know? Like who's like no one's gonna see them. It's like they don't even see the new one. They don't even see the nice ones too. There's nothing worse than like when you're in a relationship and like you decide to just like go down to like you decide to go down spice it up alley, and then you spend so much money on lingerie. And I know some women love lingerie, some people love lingerie and get really into it, but like when you drop some fat stacks on some lingerie and then your partner's like, cool, you're like, this was $150. There's no underwire. This is useless to me in the daytime. You know, might as well just like Amazon period panty it up and just like get to it, you know? Megan says, my past underwear mistakes are here. I will say, I can't remember who said it. Oh, Kayla said it. Aerie has really great underwear, I will say. I love Aerie's bralettes, and like I have some like big gals, and I swear by an Aerie bralette. They do hold them up. They're really pretty and cute, and they're super affordable. I wish they were sponsoring me. Please, Aerie. But Aerie bras are incredible. The bralettes. And the underwear is really good too. Love it. See, we needed to get this off our chest. There was just that one thing in the pandemic that we haven't talked about, and it's the realization of our underwear drawer. And I'm glad that we're here, and I'm glad that we're talking about it. And if you have any underwear tips or tricks or brands that you love and you're listening to this, send it to us on our Instagram. Tag us in a story. What brands should we be using? Because I've always struggled with like bra and underwear purchases. They're always so boring. So I've never like put money into it. I've never put money into like a really nice bra. But I will say again, the Skims bras, the mesh underwire, it was like the first time I was like, oh, this is what a really nice bra would feel like. And like I've been sized for bras. I've gotten really expensive bras for work. And even then, those aren't the bras that I'm grabbing at all the time. Shayla goes, probably the best for Jay, being here for this convo. He needs to learn. You know, he needs to learn. He needs to get better at it. Tasha says, Old Navy underwear is a mistake. Yeah, I can see that. But I will say the Old Navy, workout pants, not a mistake. Yeah. MeUndies, I have a few MeUndies that when we were working with them for the podcast that we got some items. They're amazing. Super soft, really great. I wear a lot of like the boy shorts or like the boxer shorts just like around the house, and they're really nice. I really like them too. I don't know what Naughty Knickers is. Shayla says she subscribes to them. I'll have to look into that. Yeah, I don't know. Haley says, I sometimes want some more boobs, but then I couldn't go braless most of the time. Yeah, well, I mean, I would love to be part of the Tiny Titty Club. Like, I have boobs, like I can't wear like a fun t-shirt without it getting completely changed in this area. Like when people like have smaller boobs and like the t-shirt just lays and it looks so cool. I've always been asked, as if the few times that I have been asked like what my style is, I always have to say like strategic, because big boobs, it's like, even right now, this shirt is like, you have to fix it because it all spreads. Button ups, boobs. Why do we try it every day? Why? Although Melissa says, I have boobs and I stopped wearing bras. I think that's incredible. What is your success tips on that? Because mine just like... Kayla says, this is great. I was hoping my boobs would grow in pregnancy. I'm almost 22 weeks in and nothing has changed in that department. Really? Because that's one of the things I think about with like the idea of pregnancy. I just spit all over my mic. I'm sorry to those listening, to those watching. But I've always wondered that with pregnancy, like, I always imagine that your boobs just get so big when you get pregnant. See? Interesting. Jenny goes, I wish I could do a strapless bra, but I find them so uncomfortable. I feel silly as a 37-year-old woman with my bra strap showing, but they make such small straps on clothing. It's so true. I remember even as like a teen or like a young woman or whatever, always wanting to wear kind of like a strapless, like the spaghetti strap tank tops, but I always had to wear a bra. Like I could never not. And I always for me, I just never liked the look of like a bra and then the spaghetti strap. So I've never really been able to wear like a chic little tank or like silky thing, you know? So I feel you, Jenny. Kayla goes, I'm one of those that just don't grow, I guess. Just my gut. Although if like when the baby comes, right, doesn't like your milk come in? Says the dumbest woman ever. You know? Tasha says, my boobs got smaller after breastfeeding. Really? But it's fine. I went from a C to a B. Button-up shirts fit better now. Win-win. Win. I'm so fascinated because it's like pregnancy to me just feels like, and this is such a basic thing to say, but it's like such a wild ride because every symptom you could possibly ever have in your life can be associated to pregnancy. Some people could have it, some people could not. Like there's just like no clarifying, like, you know, list. And it's just like some women boobs get really big, some do not, some are fine, some are so sick, some people don't gain that much, some people gain a bunch. Like it's just wild. I tip my hat. And Jenny goes, they make plus size clothing with the tiniest straps or no straps, but our bras are like 4-inch wide straps. Why is that? Why is that? You know? Like, do people not think of the logistics? I'm always thinking of the strap or like, you know, like a sleeve. Come on, people. Kayla says, for pregnancy, some signs could mean something is normal or something is wrong. It's all over the place. Yeah, like it just seems, and then it's just like, I guess this is another question to the chat. And for those listening, where do you go for like, I mean, where do you, like, I guess you go to Google, right? You're pregnant. You're like, this is happening to me, Google. And it just seems like, I mean, like I pulled my shoulder yesterday and it's been really affecting like my chest area. And I was just like Googling that. And I'm like, oh, I mean, the world's coming to an end. My arm's going to fall off. Like Google is a death trap, but it's like when you're pregnant, there's so many small symptoms. It's like you go to Google and then what, you know? How do you handle that? Stressful. Kayla, you need to treat yourself with huge pregnancy period underpants, even though you don't have your period. Highly suggest. Put those on, kick back, relax. You're growing a human. We have to get into this before the episode ends. And this is the massive topic. That is Jlo and Ben Affleck. How do we feel about that? Here's my questions. Do you think they're actually back together? Is this a publicity stunt? What are our thoughts? Because this just seems wild to me. It just seems absolutely wild to me. This is why I love this podcast so much. I switched, we're talking about, Megan goes, we all deserve huge underwear, followed by, yes, BENNIFER. You know what I mean? Big underwear and pop culture. This is all I want to talk about for the rest of my life. I want nothing more, nothing less. It does feel like to me, like a publicity stunt. And it just seems wild. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't feel real. Like I know that we're seeing photos of them together and they vacation together, but like, were they always in communication? Like, were they friends? You know, I'm going to scroll the old people.com. Let's see. We'll do a little BENNIFER. It just seems wild that they would connect. I mean, yeah. Matt Damon is, Melissa goes, Matt Damon is about it, so I'm all about it. It feels like a publicity stunt, says Megan. Tasha says, no way, he just got revealed as kind of a creeper. He did? Oh no, Ben, did he really? Yeah, I'm wondering, is it real? Like, what is happening? Could this be? I mean, I don't know. And what's crazy about the media is now we're all like, are they going to get engaged? It's like she just called off an engagement. And I say this with no judgment. Like, how many times has she been engaged? Because I love that. I'm trying to find this, like, let me just Google it. And Ben Affleck. Okay, here we go. So Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez went to Montana together. It was his idea, says a source. They wanted to spend time away. They were spotted together in Montana following her split from from A-Rod. They both had last week off and wanted to spend time away from LA. The trip was a nice break for Jennifer, adds the insider. Ben suggested Montana since he has a place there. Why does everyone live in Montana? John Mayer lives in Montana. What's going on there? Do we need to go to Montana? Is this the place? Is this like the place of like just peace and relaxation? On Monday, sources told People, which we love, they were spotted riding in a car together near a resort in Big Sky where Affleck has a home. He was seen behind the wheel with Lopez in the passenger seat. She looks incredible. And they say that Jennifer had a great time with Ben. Who are these sources? She's happy with him and enjoys spending time with him. How do people know this? Jennifer spent several days with Ben out of town. They have a strong connection. It's all been quick and intense, but Jennifer is happy. The source said of the pair, who were spotted later arriving back in LA on a private jet. I don't know. Like, I don't know. It just like, it just, doesn't it feel like just so beyond our comprehension that like BENNIFER would be back together? And if I can, she says, and then stops her point. News of Affleck and Lopez's outings come after she and ex-fiancé A-Rod released a joint statement on April 15th, announcing the end of their engagement. Multiple sources previously confirmed to People that Lopez broke up with A-Rod. Yeah, because he was allegedly cheating. Allegedly. Wink. I don't know. It seems so wild. Kanye's also, is Kanye in, yeah, he's in Wyoming. Bye, Kayla. Enjoy work. Thanks for the chat. But the BENNIFER of it all, I don't know. I'm not buying it. It just seems so wild. Imagine they got back together. I mean, that would be such a Hollywood story. But it just, I don't know. Not sure. Let me know what you all think, because like the photo of them together, like it doesn't look like they're like laughing, having the best time. I mean, the photo that is going around here, let me save it. Let me just save this. Bring it on the chat so everyone can see. Megan says, thinking about them getting back together hurts my brain. Yeah, it is pretty wild to think that they would be getting back together. You're just kind of like, what world is this, that this is happening? This is the photo that was snapped that was on people.com. And they kind of look like they're fighting, or they're just like stuck in traffic. She doesn't look like super pleased, but I mean, who does all the time, you know? I wonder if they're really together. But it's just so quick how like the media runs to like, are they going to get engaged? Is this it? Is BENNIFER back together for real? Oh, we've been waiting. It's kind of like the Jennifer Aniston Brad Pitt situation. It's like, we all know that Brad Pitt cheated on Jennifer Aniston, right? Like, why are we like begging for them to get back together? Also, do we want to talk about Ellen DeGeneres ending her show? Saying it's not a challenge anymore, even though everyone like kind of flipped on Ellen. And it's like, is it creative, or is it because people aren't super into Ellen anymore? She said that it was like she was going to end the show anyways. And it's like, yeah, I've said that stuff too, you know? But yeah, I'm just trying to see if I can find anything else on Jlo and Ben Affleck. Like, do you think this will disappear as soon, like as quickly as it showed up, it will disappear just as quickly? And then we'll be like, hey, remember that time we thought BENNIFER was getting back together? You know? Jenny didn't know. Yeah, Ellen is ending her show after 19 seasons. She said it was a creative decision. A lot of people, obviously on Twitter and everywhere else on the internet, is like, yeah, right. Just because of the scandals of her not being like a great boss and sort of the toxic work environment. Has sort of plagued the show. So now she's saying it's done. And many people are saying like, well, she was kind of like ending it because of all that drama and like wanting to leave anyways. But now Ellen's saying like, oh, we were ending anyways. It is nothing. I mean, that's obviously, it was a terrible situation, but I was leaving anyways. Always leaving on season 19. Yeah. So that show is done. This will be the final season of the Ellen show. And like, I haven't watched Ellen in a really long time. Are people still watching? Will people be sad? I feel like Ellen has sort of like moved beyond that show. And obviously with like the allegations of like her, like that work environment being a nightmare, I feel like it's like her whole thing is like kindness and everything like that. And maybe it's time to just move it along, you know? Jenny says, I feel like moms will be sad. Of course. I used to watch, like, there was nothing better than being like, well, I was going to say there was nothing better than being sick, but like, you know, when you got to stay home from school for whatever reason and you just like got to sit on the couch and like discover daytime TV and you were like, whoa, there's like a whole world out here that I don't even know about, you know, watching Ellen, so many soap operas. I mean, I love General Hospital. I hope it's still doing well. And everyone's, I wonder if General Hospital, I always found it to be the classiest one. I'm wondering if they're still kissing mannequins out of safety, but like, are people still at home watching Kelly Clarkson, you know, watching Drew Barrymore? I'm interested. Tasha says on the BENNIFER front, I've gone back to an ex before. It's weird and a hard pass. Going back to an ex, I don't think anyone can say that they haven't experienced that or done that. And it is weird. I mean, you hope that it works out. Maybe you've grown. Maybe, you know, I always feel like it's timing, right? Like, you ever think about the people you were with and you were like, oh man, if I were to meet them now, like it would be better. We could communicate better. So it's like, I feel like timing is so, you know, so maybe this is like BENNIFER's timing. Like maybe now they're really ready. And imagine if they got engaged, how big that engagement ring would be. It'd be massive. Megan says, I watched the YouTube clips from Drew and Kelly and they are a wild trip. Oh yeah. So we, funny enough, like on the regular pop episodes with Patrick, if you haven't checked them out, please do. They're so fun. And you can get them audio on our podcast as an audio if you want to just listen to I literally can't talk. What's happening to me? There's video versions with like clips and funny little shenanigans. But if you want to listen to it, you can too. But we break down the Drew Barrymore show with Connie Manfredi, who is like truly a queen of queens, and we really break down her show and like what's happening over there. And like, I love Drew Barrymore forever and always. Like, she is wonderful. I do love the style, but we kind of talk about like what's going on over there. And we talk about the Kelly Clarkson show, which I think is really fun. I mean, like the karaoke is really great. It seems fun. I mean, for a while in the pandemic, I was really getting into Rachel Ray. And that's a trip too. That's just like a mom gossiping in her kitchen. That's the vibe she brings in, you know. Rachel Ray, when she's cooking, like on her show, the energy she brings is like when your mom was cooking and there was like company coming over and your mom was like 20 minutes behind. There's like a bit of chaos, but she's trying to keep it together. And she's yelling at your dad the whole time. So Haley says, you need a daytime talk show. Haley, what I would give to be in a fun blouse talking about DIY dryer balls. You know, what I would give. I would love a daytime talk show. Maybe in the night too, but like, you know, we film it early so I can go to bed. But I would love that. So yes, if you have not checked out Rachel Ray, like it is really worth a peruse because Melissa is saying this in the chat and it's so true. Rachel Ray yelling at her husband during quarantine filming. Her husband filmed her for her show and their kitchen looks like our kitchen. Like and I don't say this as like being mean. Like I love that. I love when like a celebrity's kitchen, you're like, oh, we have a similar house. Like there's bags of onions everywhere, tchotchkes everywhere. And she's always upset with her husband. And she doesn't feel he's filming her right. And I get that. Like I'm really upset with my webcam right now because we need her a little up. Right now we're getting a little too much of this, you know? So right now this webcam is Rachel Ray's husband to me. So, but yes, if you are a daytime talk show producer, please hire me because as Haley says, we will talk bras, huge underwear, DIY everything, and pop culture. You know, maybe the show will just be called Big Underwear. We're going to start with that and we're going to end with that always. And Shayla asks if anyone has watched the Amy Schumer kitchen show. I haven't. Look, what channel is it on? Where would we find it? Is it good? I love her and her husband's vibe together. If you haven't watched her documentary, I found it really interesting and really special and great. Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I mean, I feel like it would be fun. No? I am not helpful in the kitchen. Like me having to like navigate a cooking segment, I'm not helping. And not because I feel I'm better or I don't want to. It's just like it would ruin it. I can cook like for myself, but if I have to cook for a friend or a loved one, it's the most stressful situation because what if they don't like it? I can't take that on. I'd rather them just do it and me do the dishes. Oh yeah, Melissa. Rachel Ray will also yell at her husband if he does not present the cocktails properly. It's really funny. It's very funny. And I love that she just kind of throws parsley or green onion on top of any dish just to like add some brightness. Love. It reminds me of my mom when I'm like, is there any vegetables in this lasagna? And she's like, peppers, but they had been dissolved. Like it's truly the most unhealthy thing you can eat. Kaitlin coming in, General Hospital is still on. Sonny's wife is still on. That's incredible. Man, Sonny was just like so like he was just so seductive, you know, even as like a teen watching, I was like, ooey, ooey, Sonny. Love General Hospital. Jen says, I feel like I don't watch enough live TV. I pick a show and just binge watch all of it and then move on to the next. I feel like that's so true. I recently like was watching cable and I was like, I never give myself the treat. It just seems like the wild, wild west. Like just anything's on. It is so weird that we've evolved so past, the daytime TV, like flick around. Like, do you remember watching, this makes me sound so lame, but do you remember like when you would watch TV and just flick forever? And then like my brother would be flicking too much. Like we wouldn't stay long enough on a channel, but he just wanted to see what was out there. Gone are the days. Gone are the days. I'm telling you. Well, friends, listen, we really, really did it. I had such a blasty blast. The Stacey McGonigal Daytime Talk Show, episode 1 is done. We talked big underwear, DIYs, and celebrity goss. I want to give you a couple of recommendations if you are looking for, as Jen says, she misses the flick of the TV. We got to get back to it, I do want to give a really huge show recommendation that I have gotten introduced to this last couple of weeks, and it is incredible. It is the show called Legendary. It's an HBO Max show, and you can watch it. I watch it on Crave in Canada, but HBO Max if you're in the States. And it is a ball. So it's like from the drag scene, like the ball culture. It is absolutely incredible. So it's like these legendary ball houses come and compete, and there's like themes and categories. It is so good. The talent is so wild. And if you're looking for like a little like energy boost to your evening, I cannot recommend it enough. I'm watching it all the time. I am fully obsessed. Like Jen said, I'm just binge watching all of it. Check that out. On the next episode of Regular Pop, or next week's, I think, episode, we talk about Legendary, and it is so good. Shayla says my daytime talk show will be called Exploding Purse Energy. Absolutely. It's just me running around doing different topics all the time and then going, wait, also big underwear. So that's a really great idea. Producer's brain, Shayla. You've got it. Legendary. Also another thing, and I'm going to be talking to people on the Patreon. If you are part of our Patreon, you'll be getting a message today. For those that have signed up for the merch tier, you have merch coming your way. So we will be sending a message today about that. There was a little glitch shenanigan, but it has been corrected. So you will be getting your items. I believe they were sent out last night. So you'll be getting a message there. And if you are part of our Patreon, we have a few events coming up this month, which will be super exciting. We'll be updating that calendar with a show. And if you have any content idea over on the Patreon that you would love to see, let us know. If you've been liking some of the comedy shows, is there one you want back? This is always, always a two-way conversation. So let us know, and all that stuff will be there. Jen, her Soft Days hoodie is on the way. That warms my heart. I hope you enjoy it. Friends, we will be back on Friday together, joined, wondering how Jason's move went. Megan, thank you for your basement love. There's really fun basement news coming, which I'm really excited about. So hold on to your basement love, because it is coming back in a big way. And we will see you all on Friday. So thank you so much for helping me fly solo. I just feel like I talked with a bunch of friends. So I will see you on Friday. Bye, pals. Bye.